Today we are going to have a look around one small island called Somaemuldo off the southern coast of the Korea Peninsula. It takes about 1.5 hours to reach the island from the Tongyeong port by ferry. It's normally a one-day tour course, so we took the ferry early in the morning at Tongyeong port and came back in the afternoon after the island tour. Tongyeong port is almost 400 kilometers south of Seoul, so to take the ferry early in the morning, we need to reach the port before the departure day. There are so many places worth visiting in Tongyeong too, so it would be perfect itinerary to include Tongyeong before or after the island tour. You can buy ferry ticket on the spot, but when you visit the island during the season or over the weekend, you are highly recommended to make a reservation online in advance. Let's go to Somaemuldo Island. On the way to the island, we pass by some other islands. Actually, you can spot quite many big and small islands coming into our sight. We stopped by one inhabited island named Bijindo to drop off some tourists on the island and go on to our destination. Bijindo Island is the next place we are going to visit. We have so many islands in Korea, roughly about 3,000 islands. Among them, about 1/3 of the islands are inhabited islands, and the others are no man's island. Most islands are located off the southern and the southwest coast of the peninsula. Somaemuldo Island, which we are visiting today, is one of the islands of the area designated as Hallye Marine National Park, which consists of many islands and beautiful sea. Just near the Somaemuldo Island, there are some cluster of rocks called Gaikdo, where there are many cormorants called gamauji in Korean reside. Due to droppings of those birds, part of the rocks look whitish. Finally, we are here in the island. Upon landing on the island, we are greeted by the street food vendors, conches, sea squirts, and sea cucumbers. We started the day so early in the morning and even didn't have our breakfast, so we decided to have breakfast first at the local restaurant. We couldn't carry our hunger throughout the island tour. Sea urchin and seaweed soup, raw fish bibimbap, seaweed bibimbap, and many more side dishes. There's absolutely no food left on the table. Somaemuldo Island consists of two islands, the main island and the smaller lighthouse island. Two islands are connected by the pebble-covered path, which is open twice a day according to height of the water level of the sea. Please check the opening time of the connecting path to get to the lighthouse island. Today it's going to open at around noon. We landed at the port on the main island and had breakfast there. In order to enjoy the whole view of islands, we have to at least go up to the observatory on the peak of the main island. It's quite a steep hiking course, especially for the elderly. But if you are young and energetic, it would be a piece of cake. We had filled up the tank, so we took a walk up to the peak. The weather was good and we were pleased with the cool, fresh breeze on the island. On the way up to the peak, on one side of the walking path, you can spot the gate of the closed primary school. It was the branch school of Somaemuldo Island Elementary School, which was opened in 1969 and permanently closed in 1996. Over the course of 30 years, 131 students graduated from this school. School buildings have been abandoned since then. Trees are still growing and playground is dense with weeds and scrubs. One rusty slide brings us back to our childhood memories. Finally, we have reached the peak of the main island. Since we are on the highest point of the island, we could see picturesque scenery far away. Just down there, there is the lighthouse island. Can you see the lighthouse on the peak of that island? We are going down the slope of the main island to reach the lighthouse island. Now let's get to the lighthouse island. How can you get to another island in the middle of the sea without a ferry? The main island and the lighthouse islands are connected by about 50-meter long pebble-covered narrow walking path, which emerges from the sea twice a day according to the water level. Depending on the days, the walking path comes up above the sea twice a day or once, sometimes none. There's a timetable for you to check when you can walk across the sea. It's a wonderful, amazing experience to cross the sea to reach another land. On the background of blue sky and ocean blue water, two tiny islands connected by the silver line, it makes the perfect picturesque scenery. Lighthouse Island. It's been also well known as one of 8 scenic sites of Tongyeong, which means you shouldn't miss it. The white-colored lighthouse has been operating since 1917. White color of the lighthouse matches well with blue-colored sky and sea. It shows diverse plant community on the island, and the ocean-facing rock cliffs are the views you should take photos of. We are back to Somaemuldo port to wait for the ferry going back to Tongyeong port. We decided to have lunch in Tongyeong but felt a bit hungry. Ramen was chosen as the snack of the day. Ramen tastes good, usually. But the ramen we had on the island tasted different.